Hello class, welcome to Arjun English School. Today it is the sixth class for 12th standard and chapter number 1 in part 2 equity share capital and its transaction. So in earlier class we have studied the journal entries and practical sums for the equity share capital and we have done 2 to 3 sums. Now I am going to start a new topic in this chapter that is called forfeiture of shares. Forfeiture of shares. Now, what is the meaning of forfeiture? Here, you already know about the installment, that is application, then after allotment, first call, and final call. Now, if any shareholder failed to pay any installment, like one shareholder holds 500 equity shares, who has paid application money, allotment. Now, third installment he failed to pay and fourth installment is also failed to. So in this situation, company has received the money for application as well as allotment. Now, if this shareholder failed to pay first call money and final call money, then company has a right to lien their shares, and for which whatever the money received for application and allotment, it is forfeited by company. And now these 500 shares that are issued again as a fresh issue, we call it as a reissue of shares. And these shares sold in the market. And same way, another shareholder who is ready to buy this share, then he purchased 500 shares and company got them money. So now here whatever the amount that such shareholder has paid, it is forfeited and we called it as a profit of the company. Got it? And this amount he failed to pay, so this amount will be reimbursed from another shareholder. Got it? So this is called forfeiture of shares. Now here it is the journal entry for forfeiture. Journal entry. Entry number 1, equity share capital account debit. 2, equity share forfeiture account. Got it? Equity share capital account debit. The reason behind to debiting equity share capital, that is company has not received the money and such shares are forfeited, so overall capital of the company will reduce. So equity share capital account debit and equity share forfeiture account credit, it means the company has received the amount that is credited to forfeiture account. Whatever the amount received by the company from first and second installment, that is application and allotment, it is forfeited by the company. And the name of the installment which is not paid by the shareholder, means in our example shareholder failed to pay first call, so to first call account, to final call account. Got it? And here the word remains same, equity share, equity share. Now second journal entry, bank account debit. equity share forfeiture account debit to equity share capital account. And third journal entry, that is equity share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account. Now here bank account debit, this second journal entry, that is for reissue of shares. This journal entry, that is for reissue of shares, because whatever the number of shares forfeited by the company, such shares are reissued by the company, and for which company received the money, that is bank account debit, because these full transactions are only and only by bank account. Cash is not allowed in equity shares. So bank account debit, equity share forfeiture account debit to equity share capital account. And the third one, equity share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve. It means here you can see that equity share forfeiture account credited here. Same way, equity share forfeiture account debited here. So now here forfeiture account credit, here forfeiture account debit, and the difference between these forfeiture, it is transferred to capital reserve. So now our entry is equity share forfeiture account debit to capital reserve account, that is journal entry number 1 minus journal entry number 2. Got it? Now if any installment, that is including premium, but company failed to pay such installment. For example, here there is a first call for uh, let's say 60 rupees, in which 20 rupees premium and 40 rupees installment. But now company failed to pay such installment. Sorry, shareholder failed to pay such installment, so company forfeited. Now here, if such shareholder failed to pay 60 rupees as an installment, it means he has also not paid premium amount it. So now premium account he has not paid, and that's why premium account debited in first journal entry. Whatever the premium and is not paid by the shareholder, then in first journal entry, premium account is debited. Simple. Now, if company has reissue equity share, in case of reissue, if company reissue equity shares including premium, then in this situation, in this situation, instead of equity share forfeiture account, we have to credit equity share premium account. Once again, in case of reissue of shares, if company reissue equity shares including premium, it means that in second journal entry, instead of debited equity share forfeiture, we have to credit equity share premium account. Got it? That's it. So this journal entry is for forfeiture account, and I am going to start a fresh sum, that is question number 12 from your textbook. So now I am drawing the format for journal entry. First of all, date, then after particular, then after. Okay, so now here it is the format for journal entry: date, particular, LF, debit and credit. Now here question number 12. Write the journal entry in the books of the company for forfeiture and reissue of forfeited shares from the following information. This is the first sum where company forfeited 800 equity shares. Here, company forfeited 800 equity shares of rupees 10 each of a shareholder for non-payment of allotment money. Means this shareholder failed to pay allotment money for 4 rupees, and call money means we can call it as a final call for 3 rupees. Means a shareholder who is holding 800 equity shares failed to pay allotment money as well as final call money. Now these shares had been had paid rupees 3 per application. Means this shareholder had paid 3 rupees for application that is paid by the shareholder. Now the total of the share, that is 10, and these shares that is reissued at rupees 8, means reissue price that is 8 rupees. So now first of all, here total number of shares that is forfeited for 800 equity shares. 800 equity share, and along with share total share price that is 10 called up, out of which first call, here we are changing the name, not a first call and final call. Here company failed, here the shareholder failed to pay allotment money and final call. So now here the name changes: equity share allotment account. Equity share allotment account and equity share final call. So now allotment money that is 4 rupees, 800 multiplied by 4. Final call is for 3 rupees, 800 multiplied by 3. So 800 multiplied by 4, that is 3200, and 800 multiplied by 3, that is 2400. So the difference, and here debit amount that is 8000. So difference that is out of 8000, if I am deducting these two amount, difference that arises 2400. Once again, 800 multiplied by 10, 8000 debit, out of which he is failed to pay allotment for 4 rupees and final call for 3 rupees. So 800 multiplied by 4 and 800 multiplied by 3, and this is the difference. Now whatever amount that is debited in equity share capital account, it is credited in second journal entry for 8000 rupees, out of which company reissued equity share for 8 rupees. So 800 shares that are reissued at 8 rupees, 800 multiplied by 8, it is 6400. Once again, equity share capital debited by 8000 and credited by 8, and whatever the 800 equity shares that are forfeited and that shares are reissued, and company got 6400 rupees as a reissue, and the difference between debit and credit, it comes to 1600. Now third journal entry, that is forfeiture account, It is simple. We have to deduct forfeiture from journal entry number 1 less forfeiture account in journal entry number 2. 2400 minus 1600 and difference comes to 800 rupees. That's it. This is the first journal entry. This is the first sum in question number 12. Got it? And now I'm going to start second question in question number 12. In second question, they provided that RK Company Limited forfeited 600 shares. It means 600 shares that are forfeited of rupees 10 each of Sunil. Means total number of total value of the share, that is 10. Sunil had paid application and allotment money for 5 rupees. Means Sunil paid application money as well as allotment money. Application and allotment paid by the Sunil. And individual amount is not given, and cumulative, that is 5 rupees given, but had not paid 3 rupees per share and 2 rupees per share on first call and second call respectively. Means 3 rupees and 2 rupees for first call and final call, that is not paid. Now, out of the forfeited shares, 400 shares, means the company had forfeited 600 shares, and out of forfeited shares, company had reissued 400 shares at rupees 6 rupees. Now, here, first journal entry, that is equity share capital account debit to equity share forfeiture. Here, shareholder failed to pay first call as well as final call. So first call account credit, final call account credit. Second journal entry remains same, third journal entry remains same. Now, first of all, total 600 shares. So now 600 equity shares that are forfeited by the company for 10 rupees, out of which first call, that is for 3 rupees, 600 multiplied by 3, and second call, that is for 2 rupees, 600 multiplied by 2. Got it? And here it is the difference. It means 600 multiplied by 10, 6000. Equity share capital account debited for 6000. First call, that is for 3 rupees. 600 multiplied by 3, 1800 rupees. And second call, that is for 2 rupees. 600 multiplied by 2, that is 1200. So now the difference between debit and credit means out of 6000, if I am deducting this 3000 rupees, then difference comes to 3000 rupees, and this difference is credited to forfeiture account. Once again, debit amount is 6000. Credit amount for first call and final call, that is 3000, and the difference comes to 3000. This is the first entry. Now, the most important thing, generally, whatever amount debited in first journal entry, the same amount that is credited in second journal entry in equity share. But in this sum, remember one thing, company has forfeited 600 equity shares. But now company had reissued only 400 shares. It means only 400 shares that are credited, and that's why 400 multiplied by 10 rupees. So equity share account credited for 4,000 rupees and reissue share at 6 rupees. So 400 multiplied by 6. So it comes to 2400. Once again, credit amount for 4,000 because only 400 shares are reissued. So 400 multiplied by 10, 4,000. Debit, that is for 6 rupees. 400 multiplied by 6, 2400. And difference comes to, out of 4,000, if I am deducting 2400, it comes to 1600 rupees. And in third journal entry, here generally this third amount, that is comes that first amount in forfeiture and second amount of forfeiture, difference between these two, that comes to in third journal entry. But now in first journal entry, company had forfeited 600 equity shares, but company has reissued 400 equity shares. So here both are not same. That's why we cannot directly judge that this difference between these two forfeiture account is credited in third entry. So now in first entry 600 shares, in second entry it is for 400 shares. In first journal entry forfeiture amount, that is 3,000. So now here it becomes the question mark. So against 600 we have issued forfeiture amount 3,000 rupees, and against 400 shares how much, that is the forfeiture account. So now if I am solving this, 3,000 multiplied by 400 divided by 600, 0 0 cut, here 6 5s are 30 and 400 multiplied by 5, it comes to 2,000. So now as per second journal entry, amount comes to 2,000. Got it? And finally, the difference between this amount and this amount, that is 2000 minus 1600, it comes to 400 rupees. That's it. So this is the second sum that I have completed. Remember one thing, this entry change only and only when company has forfeited more number of shares and reissued less number of shares. So in this situation we have to put this step, solve this sum, and the difference between this amount and second journal entry amount, it is the difference. Got it? So this is the second sum. And now last sum. In third sum, a shareholder holding 3,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, 10 each, had paid application money at rupees 13, means he has paid application money for 13 rupees, out of which 10 rupees is a premium, so share value, that is 3 rupees. Allotment money, that is for 13 rupees against premium 10, share value 3. Now his share were forfeited for non-payment of call for 4 rupees, means final call for 4 rupees, that is not paid. Here there is no premium, means only share value, that is 4. So now total of this 13 plus 13 plus 4, it becomes 30, out of which 10 plus 10, that is 20 rupees premium, and 3 plus 3 plus 4, 10 rupees is a share value. So now total value of the share, that is 30, out of which 20 rupees is a premium and 10 rupees is the number of is the value of the share. Now here they have clearly mentioned that final call that is not paid by the company, paid by the shareholder, means application money and allotment money that is paid. Now forfeited shares were reissued. Reissued shares at 7 per share. Now in first journal entry, 3000 equity shares that are forfeited for face value of the share that is 10 rupees. So 3000 multiplied by 10, it comes to 30,000. Now in this sum, shareholder is failed to pay only and only final call. So there is no need to write the name of first call. It is the name only and only for final call. Once again, equity share capital account debit 3000 multiplied by 10, that is 30,000. Out of which final call is for 4 rupees. So 3000 multiplied by 4, that is for 12,000 rupees. So now difference between debit and credit comes to 18,000. Once again, 3000 shares, 10 rupees each, it comes to 30,000. Final call is for 4 rupees, 3000 multiplied by 4, 12,000, and difference comes to 18,000. Now in second journal entry, whatever amount that is debited, the same amount is credited here. So in second journal entry, equity share capital account credited for 30,000. Now reissue shares at rupees 7. So 3000 multiplied by 7, it comes to 21,000, and difference that is 30,000 less 21,000, it comes to 9,000. Now in third journal entry, first minus second, 18,000 minus 9,000, so difference comes to 9,000. This is the second entry. Third entry, that's it. So it is a very simple sum, and journal entry for forfeiture, it is also very simple. Okay, so now this session is over, and if you have any doubts, then please contact me. Thank you.